Hey guys, great to be here with you today. Welcome to our very first podcast. This is exciting. We're just getting started with this. Hope to make this a regular thing, and there's lots to talk about. Hopefully, we'll even have some guest stars like come onto the show or whatever, and just come hang out. But my name is Thomas. I'm the VP of Product and Strategy here at Smart.
And today's guest star.
Yeah, and today's guest star. Yeah, hi guys. I'm your host and guest star today, doing double duty. Not double salary, but double duty. But really, we're joined by you guys, our fantastic co-hosts. We got Brett, our VP of Engineering, and then
glad to be here.
Yeah, and then Tom, our president and founder of Smart.
Super excited.
Yeah,
super excited.
So before we get into all of this Web3 goodness, maybe we take the opportunity and just like give a little bit about like who we are, kind of like our background, and just who are you? Like, do you want to go first, Brett?
Yeah, you bet. I'm new in Web3, kind of. I'm in it about a year, and as you guys well know, came from the contracting space. So I did a 180. I went from a very solid, secure, predictable to blockchain, which is brand new and volatile. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's such a ride.
Yeah,
but I love the diversity of stories that just our small team has. Like Tom, like you've had an amazing career so far and like huge experience and just awesome. Like, yeah, you just learned a lot. You have contributed a lot. You're excited to be here.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling me old there. Yeah, I've been doing this for quite a while with a keen approach on smart home, going back many years. Years ago, worked with smart home, had a wholesale monitoring company for years, had a great exit, took it public, moved from there to M&A, and then had the itch to get back into innovation and worked with a few people to actually build the first smart home hub in the industry, which was disruptive, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Good exit there as well with Blackstone. And then I went to a former customer of mine that we ultimately became the largest smart home provider in North America. So smart home is near and dear to me. Innovation is near and dear to me. Disruption. Like Brett, Web3 is new to me. I'm into it about a year as well. But
I'm surprised they let you in.
I know, yeah. I mean, like,
yeah. Well, you got told you almost got gate shutted at a conference at one time,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I go to a conference to try to learn this stuff after coming on, and some young guy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, sir."
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. You're like, what?
And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "Pretty much the same thing you're doing here. I'm just trying to learn and what have you." He's like, "Hey, how old are you?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I told him my age, and he's like, "Whoa." He's like, "This is going to be really hard for you. You still believe in the internet, don't you?" I was like, did I make it a mistake here? But all in all, it's been a great year. Love it.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been awesome journey. I actually got into crypto while I was out at Oxford, and so I was a student at
Cambridge.
Nah, you know what? This has been a great podcast.
Come on, man.
See you guys. Like,
I looked at your resume. It said Cambridge.
No. No, we don't do those light blues. We're all that dark blue all the way.
I'm kidding.
No, but I was out at Oxford studying. I come from a financial advisory background with Wells Fargo, turned product, because as I worked with different people and really thought about what was going on in the markets and people with their own retirements and figuring out their lives and their life's plan, like it was tough to watch people just like interact with like poor user experiences sometimes. Not to say that we had a poor user experience. It's just that this industry is hard. Finance is hard and stuff. So I went and got an MBA, and then I got reached out to by a couple projects and said, "Hey, we really need help with product and strategy." And that pulled me in, and it was perfect timing because that week I was in London on at a week-long conference just on fintech, and we were just going deep into like all the different types of fintech going on, from crypto to reg tech to insurtech, all of that. And it was just an awesome opportunity to jump in, and it's been a whirlwind, but love it and just eat it all up.
So it's safe to say that Brett and I are a bit older than you, and we come from Web 2, but you were born into Web 3?
Yeah, you can say that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, so like this year, it's been quite a year for 2013 or 2023.
Yeah, it sure has. 2023 was a huge learning curve. There was a lot of trials and tribulations. It was a crypto winter. Just trying to figure out what our product strategy would be, and you participated quite a bit in that. And so challenging, but we learned a lot, and it's given us a great launch pad into 24. I'm super excited about, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through.
Yeah. Yeah. What's something that you're particularly excited about from 2023 that you've experienced, or headwinds that we're facing into right now, or just kind of what's your take on
Yeah,
where we're
that's a
at?
good question. I'm really excited that we're coming out of crypto winter, actually. It's been exciting to see.
Yeah.
Some of those old investments are starting to go back up, which is
Yeah.
awesome. I think that what's really exciting about it is there's an awareness of crypto that's spreading, of the blockchain that's spreading, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I think that with the products that we're launching as Smart, we're like this little boat out there in this giant ocean, and I think it's going to be hard to get notoriety in that. I think that's going to be one of the things that we're facing, one of the things that we're challenging, one of the headwinds.
Sure.
Yeah, because we're just little. We're just these, small team, little guys.
Yeah.
Big blockchain, big ideas. But
Hey, startup is like that's energizing, right? And like, you know what? I think we're in early enough, way early, where like when you said, hey, before adoption into blockchain is still like low, and getting out in front of that is really what excites me.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
we're definitely
Yeah.
positioned well.
Yeah.
Definitely positioned well to take it on.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be so interesting to watch what happens. I mean, I have this. It brings to mind this funny story from my childhood. I was in Hawaii, and I was body surfing with my brother, and I was
Body surfing, so you can't get up on a board.
okay. I had a boogie board, high talent here,
There you go.
just like super fresh. But I was like chilling out there, and I was like watching these wave patterns come in, and there was this huge wave coming, and we're like getting further out to sea a little bit as we're watching this wave come in, and I started swimming out further. My brother was like, "Yo, be careful, watch out for this." And I was watching this wave, and I turned around right at the right moment, started swimming with it, and I was right at the top of the wave, and I looked down, and about 10 feet down was my brother at the trough of the wave. And this wave just crashed super hard, and it was so powerful that it sucked me under. But then the wave, just like the boogie board, brought me back to the surface, and I like skipped like a rock on a pond.
So you
all
caught
way
the
to shore.
barrel.
Yeah, I caught it just perfect. Well, it wasn't the barrel. It was just like, it was the white water. It wasn't even,
got it.
it wasn't a beautiful barrel. It was just like pure, just white water.
You could have said barrel. We would have believed you.
That's true. Yeah. Like it's a boogie board,
Fair.
Yeah. But my brother, on the other hand, he just got slammed against the ocean floor and just got dragged, and that was like the last part of the day and last ride of the day. There's also a thing that there was a shark in the water apparently, and so they kind of
the water has sharks.
So yeah, you got to watch out. I guess it's kind of like crypto. You got cool waves that you can hopefully catch, or you're a small boat and sometimes you get crushed.
Yep.
Sometimes you catch them just right, or sometimes there's sharks in the water. Or you have to be like really careful about what's going on.
Navigate them. That's interesting. That's really good.
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah, it was a fun experience. So, but
Well, I'm hoping our products aren't at the bottom, but at
Yeah.
the top of the wave, so
Yeah.
we can catch that white water in all
Yeah.
the way. That'd be great.
yeah,
I'm confident. I'm confident we are.
yeah. What did you? What gives you that bullishness? Like that we're at a good position, or is it something that we learned in 2023, or?
So a lot of it was learned in 2023, but even prior to that, like with my history in Smart Home and all the different clients and the direct sellers and what have you, and the products that we'll be talking about today, fit perfectly with that. So it's like we know the audience to go to, we know the value prop that we can bring, and with a lot of the work that we've done with some of these people, working with what we'll talk about later about our alpha and a number of different clients that are ex-clients actually that have come in and talked to us and understand what we're working on, have been super excited. It's like, hey, you guys are solving problems that we'd love to be a part of. And so
Yeah.
that's what's got me excited.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think I just get excited thinking about that. Like we've had. Again, we'll talk more about products in a second, but just I love the feedback that we've started to get from our customers. Like, I think my favorite one is like looks awesome. It almost read like a telegram, like that super old technology, probably from around when you were
I remember,
around.
yeah.
That time, like it was like looks awesome, stop, needs more purple, stop, keep going, stop, or whatever. It was just so cool, and I just love that. To get that feedback, to get that, and it's been really amazing. I mean, Brett, you've been now involved with several different crypto projects of like things going on, and I guess what's your take? Like, what's one of the most painful experiences that you had to go through, and then what's also like something that's helped you, and that makes you excited?
Yeah, good question. Painful experiences? Oh man, let's see.
Yeah, we're getting deep. This is
we're
real
getting deep
real
here.
take.
We're getting deep here.
Yeah.
I mean, working with old people is one of them.
Yeah, trust me, that's the way we feel.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah.
No, I think part of it is learning curve. You know, I come from a long line of Web 2 technology and getting into Web 3. And I know in my core, I believed in decentralization. I loved that idea of letting the community own the projects. But Web 2 is so centralized. It's so, big tech, and they have such amazing tools.
Yeah.
So to try to get out of all the tools they have and build something that truly is decentralized, that's owned by the community, has been a big challenge.
Yeah.
It's been hard to find the right balance tools.
Yeah.
The tools are way better now.
Sure,
They're getting
of
better.
course, yeah.
The Web3 tools are getting amazing,
Yeah.
but they're still lacking what the big tech has. And so
It's
I think
a
that's been
huge
big
change. I
challenge.
mean, it's also a driver as to why I came here. I got super interested. I didn't understand it at all.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of Web3 and building communities and them owning the whole concept and driving what we're trying to do, and us at Smart trying to help them or guide them do that, it's been amazing.
Yeah, there's two things that come to my mind as I think about that thought and that process. And the first is, and so my family lives in Maine, so I come from Maine, and there's this river not far from our town called the Royal River, and there's a marina up there that we often go to like get gas or whatever, right? But something you have to watch out for is there's sandbars in the river, and the lane is always changing. And that's kind of how like crypto feels to me right now. Is like, so we literally, you post somebody on the bow of the boat, and on the sides, like whoever's there is everybody's watching the water at the same time, because the Maine is known as the black waters of Maine, so it's pretty dark water, but you can see generally through it, particularly shallow
Follow
stuff.
the depth.
Yeah, follow the depth a little bit, and you're like watching it, and you have to call out and say, hey, there's a sandbar here, there's a new regulation popping up here in this country, or this thing coming up, and you have to like constantly adapt to it. And that's been a learning curve, talking about learning curves of like, what can I say, and like how do I go build something that I see the potential of the technology, but yet
There's this
how do I get
constant
there?
threat.
Yeah.
There's a constant threat of, man, am I going to step over the line and someone going to come after me?
yeah,
And how to navigate
Yeah.
it to your
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great way of putting it.
Yeah. So and I think that's one of the biggest things, like holding the market back a little bit. Like we're seeing like huge adoption. Like you talk about the end of the crypto winter, and it really looks like that. Like I was listening to a podcast just the other day, and it talked about how all of the market signs of feeling of like people understanding and like feeling blockchain adoption and starting to see the use case of blockchain is starting to like reemerge.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's this constant pressure, this hesitance. Like we actually felt that yesterday when we were talking with a client or a potential partner, excuse me, where you asked them directly,
yeah.
you're like, hey, like what's your tolerance? Like, are you interested in going into Web3 or are you not? And like, where are you at? And it's
Yeah, that was very interesting. I mean, like, part of what we're going to be talking about today and building and continuing with is data sovereignty.
yeah,
So we're happy to be talking to, and Brett, you weren't part of the conversation, but we're talking to one of the largest identity theft protection companies that also does, internet protection and child protection and all this different stuff. And so, a partner of mine, we got on the phone and we were explaining actually who Smart is and what
Yeah.
we want to be when we grow up. And it was very interesting. It was a big learning thing. And she was well prepared for the conversation.
Yeah.
We got some stuff out to her in advance. But I stopped and paused, and I'm like, listen, I know you for a long time. For us to understand what a partnership with you looks like, we have to understand what your appetite for blockchain and crypto and innovation really is. And there's a place for that partner, regardless of what their appetite is. I just wanted to understand how deep
Yeah.
we can take it.
Yeah.
And so we got our answer, a satisfactory answer, and I think we could build a partnership there. But you're right, it's about adoption. People are scared. I mean, I'll tell a quick story. Like when
Yeah,
we first
please.
started doing this, we have friends that are part of other blockchains, and I know some of the other blockchain presidents. And like, I've had the same two bankers for a number of years, and so it's like, hey, we're starting this company. We need a bank.
Yep.
And so I'd go and explain to them who we were and what we were going to be doing and open up an account. I'd get through the application process, and the guy would take care of me. And I get a phone call. He's like, Mr. Few, it's like, I'm so embarrassed to tell you this. We love your business, but we can't do business with you because you're a DAO, right? Or a blockchain or
yeah,
crypto
you're involved
company.
in that world.
Right.
That's
So then it's like, okay, well, I guess I have to go to another bank, and then another bank, and another bank, and another bank. And we started to laugh about it. and say, at my age, I shouldn't be doing the walk of shame.
Yeah.
Right? Finally, we, of course, got some proactive, innovative banks who were very interested in crypto. We kind of led the way on that, actually. We were
Yeah.
first to do it. And so we kind of helped a lot of other people who we associate on a regular basis actually get into a banking relationship without having to do the walk of shame that I had to do.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny. We laughed about it, but you know what? We got it done.
Yeah. No, and I think that's been
Exactly. So to adoption,
yeah.
banking, we're trying to disrupt banking, to be honest with you. So like, I get it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely. I mean, when I was at Wells Fargo, we definitely were watching all of us, all of my team of advisors, we were all watching crypto like a hawk, and just kind of sitting on it. But as TradFi, it's well, how does this fundamentally change the fabric of society potentially, and what does it actually look like? And I guess that's something that I've been thinking a lot about, particularly in my role with Smart of strategy and product, but. I always love you. I love you guys' opinions on it. How do you see for Smart? Why are we even bothering with blockchain and crypto? I think we actually had this conversation a couple months ago, and we had a deep dive strategy session, and we walked through the grand vision of what we wanted to do, and we had this real moment where we looked at the board, and I was like, guys, we could do all of this without ever touching blockchain, without ever worrying about the sandbars or the sharks in the water or the waves there.
Use existing tools to just build
all the tools you talked about. Yeah,
tools are already out there.
Yeah, so I guess why blockchain to you guys? What's interesting to that? I'll share my view too, but I want to hear from you guys first.
I guess to start, it's hey, you know what? In the Web 2 environment, and all my experience was Web 2 prior to Web 3, but you have no control. You have no control. Everyone tells you what to do. There's regulation. There's rules, right? And so it's hey, you can only do as much as you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
There's that, and then there's a security component and decentralization, and actually, not worrying about where your information is going. Understanding how you can secure that or use that. And so, from the smart home background, understanding how Web3 now works with blockchain has been super exciting. I think I can remember the conversation we were having. We were contemplating so many different awesome ideas.
Yeah.
Right. And then, and this is part of the 2023 trials and tribulations. Right?
Yeah.
This is really one of the things I'm
journey.
so excited about as a launchpad into 24.
Yeah.
And I should have done a better job of this, right? But we sat down. I walked into a conversation that I think you all were having on a whiteboard, as I always do, and often sit down and just shut up and listen and learn. And we're talking about all these different things, and someone has an epiphany saying, I think it was you, Brett.
Oh, yeah, it was Brett,
I don't
sure.
think we can get all this done. And maybe we should focus on one thing. And it just hit me. I'm I'm failing here.
Yeah.
That's what we need to deal with.
Yeah.
That's what we need to focus on. And from that point forward, I just feel like we're going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad we had that. A couple of us at the bow of the
Yeah,
boat
thank you.
trying to find the way through, right?
Yeah.
Because it is a vast space. There's so many things to do. So what am I excited about? Why would I go Web 3 rather than Web 2?
Yeah.
I think I spoke on a little earlier. I think Tom hit the nail on the head of decentralization, data security. I think that there's a differentiation factor as well. I think the newness
For sure.
is neat.
Yeah,
right?
the wave is no joke. It's a wave
Yeah.
you either even if we get crushed by it, it's a wave that we want to try to hit. Because it
Absolutely.
is a wave that is
Yes.
coming in.
That's
It's
right.
imminent. It's here. We can see it cresting.
That's right.
We got our boogie boards.
Yeah.
And we could sit there and we could ride the waves.
We
But
could.
We could also just try to turn and run with one.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm
No, that's it.
Get into
that's,
it, yeah.
That's part of it. That's
Yeah.
a big part of it. The other part of it is
Yeah.
what's interesting to our group here is
Yeah.
that we didn't know each other a year ago.
Yeah.
But we all have these core fundamental beliefs about decentralization, about distrust of these large corporations, right? And so to come together and build something with that, I think is amazing. I think it's
Yeah, I think you guys hear me say a lot about collaboration,
Yeah.
transparency,
Yep.
all these different things. And with that, building a community or help building a community and having the community actually participate in that collaboration versus just us sitting in an office somewhere trying to think about all the great ideas like we're the experts, right? So that collaboration with the community is pretty exciting, right? Like you don't even know necessarily who the community member is, but they might have the best idea in the world,
Yep.
right? I mean, it's interesting. I think we'll talk a little bit later when we're talking about proposals. That was amazing to me. We'll get to that. in a minute.
Yeah, for sure. And as I think about that, I mean, it's been really interesting watching the market trend. Speaking of another wave of like, originally we had like business and capitalism was really built around this concept of shareholder management, maximizing profits
Yep.
for whatever means, whatever it takes to maximize the profits was like the old thing, thanks to all the boomers and all that and global warming, you know. But then it, like, as time has evolved, it's become more and more about stakeholder management was like the new thing of like, okay, it's not just about your shareholders, it's about everybody in the value chain. And what I find really exciting, I think as we talk about it a lot, is as the blockchain wave comes in, we're moving from stakeholder to the full democratized layer of fighting for the user, kind of like pulling out that Tron thing. Like, it is everything about blockchain puts the user at the core center of it. Like, every day we're talking about like, okay, we got identity and like we got all this data on somebody, but it's theirs, right? And
That's
it's
exactly
like
right. It eliminates the pecking order.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, hey, if you're just a user and you're not the CEO, or you're just a user and you're not the VP of product, you're equally, for us, the input that you give us, albeit good,
Yeah.
is just as valuable as it came from me or from you or from you.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess I think one thing I've loved about working with Smart is our pure alignment to that. You talk about like how we came from all over the place, but that's like our central foundation. That's an ethos that we all stand together on. We say we fundamentally believe that the creator of their data should be the beneficiary of their data, the primary beneficiary.
Yeah.
And that's like bleeding into everything we do, from the way that we're built. Like, we've launched this project where we as Smart are a company, or a SaaS company, that builds blockchain-based products and services.
Yep.
To do that, we needed to have a blockchain that we could build on. And so we're part of the genesis of the IQ blockchain. But what's really cool about that is, again, like, in the pure Web3 fashion, we're not trying to like maintain the keys of the kingdom.
Right.
If anything, as soon as that Genesis event happened, we turned it completely over to the IQ distributed governance framework.
Right.
Which is the collection of node operators, the community, and they own the blockchain. They interact and they set the rules of the game for the entire economy that we're trying to help build. And then Smart can interface with that economy. We can't control the economy by any means, and that's where like proposals, that's where I can go down a rabbit hole all day about proposals and my love of the concept of self-governance, and that the DGF and the community is the only people that have the right to be able to set the path for the IQ blockchain. And Smart can lobby the community, can interact with the community and say, hey, we got this cool idea, we got this brand new swanky surfboard, and we want to ride this wave or whatever. But it's really up to the community to let us engage.
That's a great point, a great story, but you bring me back to what I mentioned about 2023 and trials and tribulations.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to go back
Not an
on
easy
that
thing,
and
yeah.
say, hey, there was learnings.
Mm-hmm.
We helped. I helped at my age, which was amazing to me. Of course, it was our team, but I was part of it. And I think it was October 18th. We actually helped launch the IQ blockchain.
Yeah.
And for me, that's a huge win. Something I never thought I'd be involved in.
Yeah.
And it was just like such an achievement that I felt and the team felt. And so like when I go back to the trials and tribulations and the learnings, there were some good successes there too, to your point.
Yeah.
Did you know 2 months after we launched, we had a community member actually propose a change to IQ. They put a proposal in to help guide this thing that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I talked to a bunch of people. I'm
Yeah.
like, has that ever happened to any of our like partner friends? And the answer was no. Like, we actually had a community member that was not part of Smart that actually put in a proposal that was passed or accepted.
Yep.
And to me, I was like, holy hell, this is working.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? And so at that point, we're going to talk a little bit more about proposals, but I started saying, hey, this is real. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a believer. Like, I was believing along the way, but like to see that happen out of the gate, like I thought it was going to take an incredible amount of work from us to go try to convince people to participate. And it was like, an epiphany. It was like, what just happened here? This is awesome. This
Yeah.
is amazing. It passed.
Yeah, you're like, what?
Who is this person?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I want to know who this person is.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome.
Oh, and it's been awesome to get to know the person and
Yeah,
really
for
get
sure.
to like really learn about them and learn about the influence that they have in building projects. And that's one thing that's been I've really thought about for my resolutions for 2024. Like I've had the opportunity to be a part of multiples of different startups, Web 2 and Web 3 in my career so far, and in talking with some of the degens that we have around here, like what's really amazing is this sense that there are community members out there that are willing to step up to the plate and throw out a proposal. They're like, I have an opinion and I now have a voice, and that's one of the beautiful things about Web3. And as I was talking to this degen this week, it was just kind of like a really good reminder for me to like stay hungry, stay searching, to like
Totally.
always be looking out and saying, hey, somebody's got a project that they have a question on. I've got an experience. I've seen a couple sandbars. We've ran aground a couple times. Like, how can I help? And I think that's been really fun. And that's one of my resolutions for this year is to like do more of that. Be more publicly available.
I totally agree, and I think we're making a concerted effort to try to help do that. Like going back to that original proposal come from a community member. Like we all sat there and looked at each other like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
How do we help promote it? And I think we're going to talk about some of those things. And I think Brett, you did a great job putting those together. But like I think we woke up. It's like, hey, this is exciting. Like, how do we get more of it? How do we get more engagement? And we have our community calls. And these people are giving us great ideas and telling us what we're good at and what we're bad at and what's right and what's wrong and suggestions.
Yeah, they're like, you guys are whack. Like,
I'm
just
like, what does
like
that
good
mean?
luck.
Yeah.
Well, it validated the idea, really. You know, we put out this a crazy idea, built a Discord community, people joined it, interested in the project, and then the thing we built, they wanted to take. They wanted to be part of it.
Yeah.
And it just validates this decentralization idea, which is awesome.
And I've had more and more people reach out and ask about proposals, like, because we took the IQ Node Network Charter, which is kind of like the constitution for the IQ distributed governance framework, and it sets the rules of the game right there. And so we just pulled it into an easy template to help anybody come learn. And then we've had people reach out and say, from not just IQ, but other networks out there and other communities out there, saying, hey, how do I do this? Why do I do it? Why do I care? And what can I do with it? And I think that's.
I would say staying on building the community. Like, we've made a concerted effort recently to really get more involved with all types of social media.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's a big piece of this. And one of the ways we were also trying to build the community was the initiative of the quests. Like talk about the quests. So like it's amazing the stuff that you guys put together.
Yeah. So. The quests we put together are 4 quests to learn more about Compass, our first go-to-product market.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That's
Go-to-market product.
Words are hard.
Product. Yeah, words are hard today. But they get to learn about Compass, they get to learn about Smart, they get to learn about IQ, and they get rewarded for doing it.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's awesome.
Super engaging.
Super engaging, yes.
People love it.
Yeah.
It was an amazing job.
Simple little quizzes. Watch a quick video.
Yeah.
Very easy to get through.
Watch a video, do some answer some questions, get a cool prize.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My favorite one is the Smart TV contest that we're putting out.
Oh yeah. You want to talk more about that?
Yeah, sure. So to get these community members engaged in proposals, we put out a Smart TV contest where they can go issue a proposal, put it on Discord, tell us about what they want to do, how they want to drive the community, and that'll earn them some points.
Yeah.
And whoever gets the most points wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a coincidence! A smart TV.
Yeah. Smart water, smart. I mean, just cheers.
just trying to get smarter.
Yeah, just trying to get smarter all day. No, and I think, I love that. I think what's really cool about the contest is like it's a king of the hill game, which aren't always very fun because it's just there's only one winner, which that's frankly okay. As somebody who grew up always getting a trophy every time I played a sport, I do celebrate the fact.
I almost believe you.
No, as in like the participation trophies.
Yeah,
it's like you get a snow cone and a participation trophy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get it. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I ran a Ragnar the other day, and they're like, "Here's a medal," and I'm like, but I was like, I was a peasant. And they're like, "You still get a medal. It's fine." But But what's really cool about it is the contest is multifaceted. Like the proposal is something we're probably the most excited about, but we also have things in there like suggest features for Compass, because we know that we're gonna mess up. We know that like product market fit is tough.
Yeah, we don't have all the
Like
answers.
yeah, and as we love the fact that we can crowdsource that knowledge, and then there's different things of like how do we build this community, like getting crowdsourcing that knowledge and that tribal knowledge of like, yeah, let's go build something amazing, and then we'll have the competition. And then selfishly, not selfishly, but what makes me really excited for Smart is that we're using Compass as we get more and more people submitting those feedback and earning points towards this contest. We're actually leveraging one of our products and services, Compass, which is a custom scorecard system that can track trends and analytics of things that are happening, whether in a sales organization, which is our primary customer. But you can also use it in like random edge cases, like for the Smart TV contest. Yeah. And it's really cool that we're eating our own dog food and like using our own products to like build the business, as well as inviting other people to come build their businesses with our products. And I think that's a huge thing that we found.
I think it goes back to the whiteboard again.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? We've been doing this for nearly a year, and I've been reading up on all kinds and looking up all kinds of different projects that are out there. And somebody launches a blockchain, and you know they're selling nodes, which is very, very important because that's how you build a community and get participation and all the collaboration that you're talking about. But I'm really proud of one thing, and that is, you know, in a very short period of time after that epiphany, that we focused very, very hard on a product to bring to market, so we bring value to the community out of the gate, where many other projects that have been out there for years,
Yeah.
right, with the promise of a utility. I think we were pretty smart, and I think we're on the right track about, hey, you know, we launched our blockchain on October 18th. We'll talk about distribution in a few minutes.
Yep.
But having a fast follow product with demand, with a large
Not
audience.
just demand, or like that it's in alpha. That there's
already in alpha.
that we're actively engaging with companies that are with. Well, we got one company right now, and then we're like that's
we have
enrolled
two.
and involved. Well,
We have
that's
two.
true. We got
two
two.
direct selling companies.
True.
And I'm excited about it because you know what? We've gotten so far along. We're in alpha. I think we're testing with like 150 different sales reps, direct sales reps, and a couple of different companies that actually manage those. And then they also have connections to super, super large companies, which is exciting. But now it's got me thinking, like, there's a Direct Sellers Association event coming up in Vegas in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of these people. Like, again, I might not be the oldest guy in the room, but I've been around for a while. So, like, the likes of the people who sell Direct TV, Dish, Internet, security, smart home, solar. I mean, the sky's the limit. And so I'm really excited because of where we've gotten to with our product to be able to go out and talk and get feedback and show people how we can bring such incremental value to what they're using today and actually integrate with it.
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's game changer. Based on what I've read with other people doing this and having a fast follow, it's like, I feel so good about what we're doing right now.
Yeah, and I'm excited for the sandbars. Like, not gonna lie, like I'm excited to make some mistakes. Hopefully not nothing that sinks the ship, obviously, but to make some mistakes and learn, because we've already been doing that every time we sat down with our customers with Compass. That we're able to say, oh, you don't like that feature, or that's not valuable to you, or this is really important to you. Then done. Like that gives us the direction, and then also with just how things are rolling out, and just building out the community of also, just as we've talked about our story about who is smart. Like we've gone from this very broad ethos that everybody should be the primary beneficiaries of their data to Compass, which is a product built for sales organizations. And people have been like, well, what are you doing? Like how does that connect? How, like, help me tie the pieces together? Yeah. And I think that's where it really came down to, of like, as we've thought about it, we're like, look, like Compass is the starting point. Like,
Totally.
Like, sure, we want to like be like Elon Musk and go build a civilization on Mars, but first we got to go build a system to be able to go set that foundation. That's where we got involved with IQ, and we started building the manufacturing process, if you will, and started helping build the community out, organizing engineers and people of thought leaders of building that. And then we're building vehicles to help move us forward, starting with Compass and getting street credibility. So that when we go to events like that, like the event that we're going to, or hopefully at any conferences coming up in 2024, that we have something in market.
And it's what I love about what we're doing is I've been in innovation for like straight innovation as my primary job as a senior vice president of business development. I learned a lot. And I learned that like very often you may have an innovative idea that gets to a product that gets iterated on and iterated on and iterated on and iterated, never gets to market.
Yeah.
We're looking at it completely different. We're going to get it to market. We're going to bring value, and we're going to iterate on it.
It's going to be embarrassing.
It may be
like it'll be
Guaranteed.
ugly.
It may
like it
be.
won't have the spinners. It won't have like.
But I promise you that
Yeah.
we have the credibility to work through that with certain partners.
Yeah.
The other thing is like we are going to be laser focused on getting this product right into the market, but we also have other things that actually support this product in these same industries that we're looking to solve problems for.
Yeah.
And when we sit down with all these different groups, like you've been involved and met a lot of people that I know now. Like you've been involved in these conversations, and I said, okay, this is a huge problem. Is it not? Yes, it is. If we can solve it and we can do this, this, and this, what do you think happens? And they're like, you own the industry,
Yeah.
right? That to me is amazing. Like we're able to identify problems, and if we can solve those problems, if they're solvable, like it really puts us in a driver's seat and supports like our first go-to-market product.
Yeah.
Everything kind of lines up.
Yeah.
To me, it's so much fun.
Yeah. I love that. It's like we're intentionally trying to snowball it. We're
Yeah.
adding incremental value and then incremental value and incremental value. And we're trying to just roll it down the mountain. And it's terrifying sometimes because you push your little snowball down the hill and you hope that you guys remember like making like snowmen and like you'd start it and it just wouldn't go anywhere. Like
It's a little awkward.
Yeah, it gets a little awkward. Starts
looking like a
wobbling
football,
away.
you
have to,
gotta
like,
fix it.
You have to like trim off some stuff, and like that's going to be an amazing journey. But it's all about adding that continual value and trying to keep things lean. We're a small team. We're just getting started, but there's a lot to learn, and we're going a lot of places. We're coming up on time here, and I'd be remiss not to do something that we hope to do every podcast, which would be hot takes and rabbit holes, and which is really thinking about like what are something that as you like something in the market that you're looking out for 2024 that you're like what's your hot take of something you're excited about, either something that is coming up or that you've just read or watched or something like that where it's like a hot take or opinion on a point or a tenet there. And then second is something that what are some resources that people can come nerd out with us and come learn with us and come participate. We're running up on time, but one thing that we wanted to do is kind of set a pattern for future podcasts is to do hot takes, outlooks, and rabbit holes. So these are hot takes, or just any controversial opinions. Could be controversial, could not. The controversial, the better. We like sauce, and just throw out an opinion or an outlook of like something you think that's going to happen in 2024, or a rabbit hole. We're really big on education, and like we want anybody who's people watching this, and shout out to the people who are watching this, and really hope that they enjoyed this and give us some feedback and tell us how to improve it, but also join us on going down some rabbit holes. So let's I don't know, what's you guys' takes?
I mean, I could start.
Yeah,
I'll go with
please.
an outlook.
Age before beauty?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Not totally true, but an outlook. So building a community, right? Like that's been an education for me. But with what we're bringing to market and actually taking to what I would consider the masses, there's so many direct sellers out there, and introducing Compass in rewards and blockchain and crypto, educating people. Like a year and a half ago, like I wouldn't be able to be sitting in this room, right? And actually, when I went to that conference in Miami, the mayor of Miami, which was the first crypto city, was speaking when he came down. I got a chance to talk to him, right? And it was
awesome.
really kind of cool. Like first shot, you're talking to the mayor of Miami.
Yeah, not bad.
I go to an ATM doing crypto.
It's probably the age, the distinguishedness.
The guy was the mayor. I was the old guy.
Yeah,
I didn't even go up to him. He came up to me. I was just taking notes. But no, like getting this out to the masses and all the direct sellers to start and introducing crypto to them so they get an education that they can say, okay, these rewards mean something based on the dashboards you guys are building, and understanding like, hey, if we can figure out a product to bring to market that we can monetize, and now that brings value to them, and understanding how crypto works and blockchain works, and just kind of like going down from the top management on the enterprise level, down to the managers, down to the reps. I mean, it's just spreading, and it's so cool to me because
Yeah.
like a year ago, nothing. Now I believe with the product that we're bringing as the Outlook, like we can get to thousands and thousands and thousands of people in just one direct selling channel.
Yeah.
To me, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That virality effect
It
that
teaches
really
a lot of
sets it
people.
up. Yeah.
And you know, a lot of these guys are younger and they understand it and they're
Yeah.
receptive. To me, I'm stoked.
Yeah. And it's not a bad wave.
No,
Not
it's
a bad
not.
wave to try to catch.
No, it's not.
Yeah. For sure. What about you, Brett?
I don't know if I have a hot take so
Okay,
much, but
I see you.
maybe a lesson relearned.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
That's too real. You know, just the relearning of the
You
lesson.
better have
Yes.
something disruptive and like
Yeah.
controversial.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'll try to.
Yeah, mine's easy. So.
Yeah.
No, I've seen it before in industries and relearned this lesson that when you put something out there, people actually respond.
Yeah.
There is a response back. We learned that with Compass. We learned that with IQ. We're talking to the direct sellers.
And that's
the
Web 3.
organizations.
Web 2, that doesn't exist.
Yeah. You don't have a voice as
Yeah.
strong. You get your like random little surveys, like do your survey and get a $25 gift card.
Go
or
online,
whatever.
Qualtrics,
Yeah.
do your survey.
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
Sure. That's not what I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about putting the idea out there and
Yeah,
getting
like-
a response. The proposal that was posted
Yeah,
is awesome.
Yeah.
The response we've got from direct sellers is just like, oh, that's right. When you build something that people need, there's a response back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let's keep doing that. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's been a good lesson.
Yeah, it's such a vulnerable moment though too, because like,
Absolutely.
I mean, I can't help but tell customers or like tell people we talk to, I'm like, you can call my baby ugly all day, but please don't kick her. Like,
yeah.
I really like my baby, but like, but that moment of where they're so like, nah, you can really do this better is just, or you're doing this well, and like the add more purple was awesome.
The key is we're,
Yeah.
we're actually listening,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Which is
like
quite different.
here to listen. Yeah.
So that's my hot take.
I like it.
Lessons relearned.
Yeah, lessons relearned. That's a good thing going into 2024. My hot take is over Christmas break, before Christmas break, I had a mentor recommend the new Elon Musk biography to me, and he recommended it twice, and I eventually, thick head here, got through, and I was like, I better read this. And what was really interesting and a big lesson that I took out of the book was part of Elon's journey with Tesla. So Elon trying to drive, being the master of trying to drive for automation and really bootstrapping everything he ever touched, even though he has the money that he could go just hemorrhage money. He was like, automate everything and just go. And what he learned is they started to do that, but he would walk the factory floor and he would see these processes. And what they learned was that it wasn't a good idea to automate everything. And it was really a mistake sometimes. It didn't make sense for the business, or it didn't actually add value. And something that's frankly kind of controversial is like there's this huge push right now in the Web3 community where there's like people who are like, yeah, automate, like tokenize, put everything on chain, all of it all at once, everything, like go. And everybody's like just loves it and just doesn't even think or doesn't pause to really ask the question, does it make sense? And sometimes you don't know until you try.
Yep.
Like we've definitely learned that. We've like said, yeah, let's put this on chain. And then we look at it and I'm the master of that. You guys humble me all the time where I'm like, check out this awesome vision. Like we are going to change the world in this way. And we're going to do something awesome. And then you guys are like, yeah, but we could also like, we got $5 to put here. Like, how are you going to spend your dollars or whatever? Like, and that's been a really good lesson for me. And also like my hot take is that we're going to see as we go through the hype cycle of blockchain, that there's going to be some things where we shouldn't try to blockchainize it, to tokenize it, to put it on chain. It just doesn't make sense.
I love that Elon story. You know what I learned when I was in innovation, it's still in innovation. It's like when I was building businesses in the past, I knew that I wanted to get here.
Yeah.
And I thought I had a perfect strategy to get there.
Yeah.
But if you stick to that and you say, this is where I got to go, the high probability is you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to pivot.
Yeah, there
all
may
the
be
way
a
along.
swamp
You may
or
wind
like
up
a
over here,
sandbar,
which
yeah.
is even better than being over here.
Yeah.
Right. And so I love the fact that we're getting that feedback. We're pivoting all the time.
Yeah.
To the Elon reference, right? Like
Yeah.
he's walking the factory, automating everything. He's not getting feedback. He's just trying to get here. He corrected. He corrected
Yeah.
himself. So I love that.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, hey, appreciate for anybody who wants to check out the podcast. I guess I'll look into the audience here for this. Find us on. Hopefully, we'll be on any channel that you watch for your podcast. We'll be doing this regularly. We're going to get into this, and we want that feedback. We expect this first one to be a minimum viable product, and we want to really iterate into it, and we'll get sharper and sharper. But really excited to learn more. I guess last thing, like if somebody wants to go learn more about crypto, where would you go? Like, what's some of your favorite channels? Like, obviously hopefully our podcast becomes one of them, but we're not there yet. Right. So
go ahead, Toe.
Well, I mean, I would first go to social media, right? I would go to social media.
Yeah,
because
crypto,
that's something
Twitter,
we're really putting
anything.
some effort into. That's going to be an introduction to who we are and what we're doing. I'd probably start there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Of course. There's a few TikTok guys out there that
Yeah.
really know their stuff, and they talk about the whole gamut of not only the investing side but also the technology. I've gone to TikTok, Instagram to really learn about.
Yeah, there's so much to learn on the
There's
web.
So much,
Yeah.
and if you want to learn about the bits and the bytes, you go to YouTube for longer
Yeah.
content form, and it's
Our
great.
podcast, like I love watching 11FS is one of my favorite shows, based out of London. So that calls to me a little bit.
Near and dear.
Yeah, near and dear. Also, just the FT, the Financial Times or the New York Times has been really good for me. Or podcasts that we've had opportunities to be guests on with, like the Crypto OGs or Crypto. Yeah. They've just been starting to turn out some awesome content, and it's been really encouraging to like see that and see just more and more just quality come out versus just quantity.
I would say, why don't you give a call out to our website, because we're going to continue to add content to that and grow that. And let's talk to every listener out there as to where we should send them.
Yeah. Check us out at smartbuilt.io. Built is in past tense with a T. Also on LinkedIn, you can look up Smart on LinkedIn.
That's right.
Look for the Smart logo or just the parentheses S. You can also find us on any social media channel. Thomas Crowley out on LinkedIn. We got Brett Burbage and Thomas Few out on LinkedIn too. You can come check out the profiles, come follow us, ask us questions. Really, really excited to grow. So
and hopefully you listen to this podcast and tell us what we did well and what we didn't do well, and beat us up and give us your comments, and go to any of these different places to let us know.
Yeah, I'd also
good.
like to mention one thing, and that is,
okay.
it may seem a little confusing what we're talking about.
yeah,
Like we said a lot of words
yeah,
that most people don't understand,
Yeah.
that don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's going to get clear as we go on.
Yeah.
We'll
Fair.
clarify.
Yeah.
We'll clarify IQ. We'll clarify Compass. We'll clarify DGF.
Yeah.
All the words these said. So
Yeah.
don't give up on
yeah.
us. We'll get there.
Welcome to the journey with us.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, cool. Well,
Thank you.
LFG, thanks for standing on business.
Thanks.
And we'll keep it up.
All right.